Dr.
Living in
Stone.
America.
Wow.
We're in the USA.
Bro,
Oh my
I knew
God.
we were in America when the first. I gotta be honest, I love this. The first fucking page is Senku with a big, disgusting, greasy bacon burger. I was so happy to see that. I was like, oh, feels like home.
Bro, I'm ready for these American stereotypes right
Yes!
like it's so crazy because like if you watch like certain like comedy like drama, manga, anime, whatever, like some creators in Japan draw Americans like kind
Oh
of weird.
yeah, they look like
Like big,
Trump, like either like
yeah,
Trump, like it's a blonde fat guy in like in a
yeah,
USA flag shirt, typically.
like big noses, you know.
Oh, you ever played Katamari Damacy?
The stereo.
You ever played Katamari Damacy?
No.
There's like an American guy in that too, and it's like I said, exactly what I said, like a fat blonde guy with an American shirt.
It's so funny. Like American stereotypes in manga is fucking hilarious to me.
You see how we don't get butthurt over them and how they're just funny?
Yeah.
Like they're just funny. Like, oh my god, yeah, and we got like swamp gators and stuff too. Like fucking gator man down in the bayou. So
Gator burger.
yo, the gator burger. Okay, couple things. There's a lot of things we gotta talk about. First of all, the ravenousness from the fighting crew. They're just like, we need meat.
Bruh, like that was a night. That's my aesthetic right here. This awesome cover spread over here.
Oh yeah, you're just because they're like our all-star lineup, and look at Tsukasa with his goddamn Final Fantasy sword. It's back.
That's all. This is a whole This is a whole wallpaper right here, bro.
Can we talk about again though? He broke out the fucking the cloud sword for a gator. Like, this is not just like a epic battle like thing that he's gonna use for like honorable shit. Nah, bro, he's gonna like whack away the vines with this shit.
Like, I mean, to be fair though, gators, they're not crocodiles.
Thick ass scales.
They're not crocodiles, but gators are pretty tough animals. So, like, this is like there was like 1, 2, 3, like 4 of them. Yo. But this is a feat for Senku's fucking thing right here. Being able to resist bites from gators, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. No, Senku... Yeah, what are you going to say? Senku's he's a mad lad. And this fucking shot here of them just on a speedboat over it, like, they were so ready. Like, the amount of ready that they were, like, actually, we would welcome a beast attack. Like, I love that ravenousness. I'm trying to find it. Like, where's that first page where they're just, like, they're thirsting. They're thirsting for some action. Like, even Kirasame, or like the multi-boob pocket girl, like who I remembered as so elegant, and like she's like, bro, I need sustenance, I need meat, I need fight, I need it. I'm into it, honestly. People succumbing to their like animalistic desires is kind of a kink of mine.
Oh yeah. You say that to like bite your hair, bite your,
Oh yeah, you ever like read one of them hentais where it's like you're gonna be like the abstinence ones where it's like masturbation ban for like a month.
You stop masturbating for a month. You need it. You need it now.
Oh, those are the best. I love this.
I haven't read one of those in a long time.
Oh, look up like chastity belt and the tags. Because there's like a whole subsection where they're like, or wear this and it'll stop you from touching yourself or having sex. And then they're like, please let me come. I'm laughing because I hope that normally the Dr. Stone fans are chill, but like, man, I love side tangenting and talking about hentai. There's literally a fucking Robin hentai parody where instead of the I want to live line, it's I want to come.
Yeah. I believe it, yo. Oh my god. Only fans.
Beautiful moment.
only fans would make something like that. Like this parody of famous manga moment with hentai. This is great.
Yeah, so all this to say, I love that. Like, especially like seeing like my girl Kohaku and Kirasime, however the fuck you pronounce her goddamn name, just like the Ravenous. They're ready to tear some meat apart, and I'm into it because they could tear my meat apart.
So it's funny too. On page 10, when I first saw that, like he drew them like when I saw that, I,
Uh-oh. Well, you're back.
like
When you saw that, what?
yeah. I thought they looked like poop at first, like rock pile, like rock mass a little bit. But then
Oh,
it was just like, oh, they're gators.
this
But
is
that's
not Gintama. We don't have random piles of shit in the street.
yeah, and somehow that random pile of shit is still drawn and written well.
I
Yeah,
wasn't like, well, the random pile of shit has character development?
yeah.
I'm going to have to
No,
go watch it. People are saying that's a good quarantine anime to watch.
oh yeah, it is. Don't watch, read.
Oh, okay. Listen, bro. A part, like, we have some funny moments here. Like, I love the Gator burgers. I love how just American, they're getting fully down and dirty in the American lifestyle, and I'm digging it. But I think my favorite part of this chapter was this like somber moment they had, and like I'm glad they did this because it just reminds you of like how fucked. And I haven't had this feeling since I think the flashback with Senku's dad. Where do you remember when it was like showing him like dying in the river and like you remember that shit, like looking up at the stars, like you remember that shit?
Yep.
Like, and then it flashed back to Senku as that was happening, still
Mm-hmm.
counting the seconds in his like school as it was deteriorating and shit. And like there are moments like that where I get really emotional in this manga. And this kind of moment here where they're looking at all these people just like in a line in the water, they're like, why would they be there? And they're like, oh fuck, it was a car pileup, right? Because as they all turned to stone, the cars would have just massively like collided. Like it reminds me of the absolute chaos that would have happened. Because I've even watched like Vsauce has videos on this, like what would happen if every human just disappeared all at once. Like it would be chaos. Like you'd literally have like every moving vehicle would crash, every plane would crash out of the sky, every like nuclear reactor would eventually go nuclear and explode and become Chernobyl. Like it's massive chaos. And like this just little reminder and that little detail of like, yeah, that must have been a pileup. They must have been on the Golden Gate Bridge, and then they were there until that bridge collapsed. And it's like I loved that little moment, and it was like, wow. And what this reminds me of, too, hate to burst your bubble, Senku, but he's like, yep, we're going to revive all 7.8 billion people. And I'm like, oh, bitch, are you really? Because do you have any idea how many of them are underwater, like those ones? How many of them are probably under the ground? Because we see here, if I'm looking at this correctly, aren't these, there's some of these in the cliffside. You see how they're like under the ground? You realize that what happens over thousands of years is like dirt gets displaced and changed. That's why we've had fossils like deep in the fucking... You're not gonna get everyone. In fact, I would be surprised if you got half of them. So, we'll see. It's a manga, of course, but I just love being that douchebag that's like, hate to burst your little bubble here. That's what I liked about my whole thing with in Promised Neverland was Emma was the one that was like, I have unrealistic standards of all the good we can do. And I'm like, someone needs to pop her bubble, please.
And it never got popped.
Exactly. Now with Senku though, he's a smart boy. So, and this manga is a smart manga. So I have a feeling that they may have a way, like theoretically, he could set up like once they have enough people revived, he could set up like an organization like on every continent. Like you guys will go out and like excavate, like finding missing people. Like we're going to be digging around and trying to get every person accounted for, yada yada yada, right? Although all records of like people would be gone. You wouldn't have any so you wouldn't really have like a checklist to go through other than like reviving someone. Okay, who are all the people you knew? Okay, who are the people you knew? Until like everyone knows that there's no one missing, I suppose. But like I guess just it was that line where he's like, we're gonna revive everyone. It kind of made me rethink and remember like, wow, that's gonna be one hell of a task. Just the simple task of reviving everyone. And you can't even just do one of those like, oh, we got the device and there's like a reverse switch and now everyone's back to normal, because then there would be people that would revive underground and underwater and just die on the spot. So like there's a lot that'll go into that for sure. And I was just thinking about that today.
Yeah, because I mean, going back to the whole bursting your bubble thing, maybe there's going to be a moment where Senku realizes that there's some people he just won't be able to save.
That's possible, and that would be a cool moment.
Because Senku, honestly, because we're comparing Senku to Emma, Senku does have a lot of stuff, but Senku has had help getting his goals together. While
First
Emma
of all,
just
that sentence disgusts me, comparing Senku to Emma.
well, we're comparing goat to trash, so,
And
right?
you know
So
what goats do? They eat trash.
so
They
what's funny?
paper,
Like
baby.
when it comes to Emma, like Emma just get everything handed to her on a silver platter, but Senku he's worked for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It feels like there's more at stake when it comes to Senku, right? So it makes sense. And what's crazy is that let's say he does come to realization like shit, I can't revive everyone, but I'll revive as much people as I can. Because I like your theory too, like how they're gonna have to do that because that makes more sense. Because as they rebuild the world, they're going to find humans in places that's gonna in places all over the world. So it's inevitable. Like
Yeah, you know, and good.
literally as the world go by, you're gonna be like after building new buildings infrastructure, be like, oh wait, hold on, we found like 10 stone pieces under here.
Yo, yeah, definitely. They're
And,
gonna
like,
be fucking finding them
get the
everywhere, like
Senku
crumbs
Corporation.
in your bed.
Yeah, like get the Senku Corporation.
Yeah, yo, he's gonna have a Speedwagon Foundation, but for Senku.
Senku
The
Foundation.
Senku Corporation, yes. And Tsukasa will be like, I don't know how I feel about this. As a high-ranking member of the Senku Corporation and a previous hater of corporations, I don't know how to feel.
It's gonna be at some point because you have to remember, like they're in America now. So
the land of corporations.
they're gonna be in a land full of corporation and racism.
Hey, and racist corporations.
So you're right. I can see it, bro. I can see them like accidentally reviving a racist.
Yo, first of all, I'm glad you brought that up because I'm gonna keep fucking saying this. This manga, when we get to the let's revive everyone. Senku again, he's ultimate true neutral, and I just want to see him realize because Tsukasa makes an interesting point where he says, "Hey, bro, maybe there's some people we shouldn't revive, right? Like, okay, let's think of people that are alive right now. I'm trying to think of okay, topical Kim Jong-un." Obviously he may not be alive. Who knows what's going on with him right now? But just take any old random dictator who's been awful to his people. Do you revive that guy? You know what I mean?
No. No.
Yeah, but Senku is saying he's gonna. That's the weird thing about Senku. He's and it's fascinating because he is true neutral. Like if he took one of them alignment tests, absolute true neutral. Maybe neutral good. I don't know. But he's so he gives me the vibe. It's almost like a Jesus-like mentality of everyone deserves a second chance, and I respect that. But let's just imagine this happened. I don't know in the 1940s, and you come across Hitler. You're reviving him, Senku? It's just Tsukasa makes an interesting point, and I'm so excited to see a moment where they come across because remember Trump. I doubt they're gonna go here, but Trump is canonically a member of this manga. So when you stroll into the White House, you reviving Trump, bro?
Because it's crazy too. Because in this world, power means nothing now. So
yes,
so
exactly.
that people revive. I see the way they're going here with Senku. I feel like Senku's logic is okay, since society has crumbled, the old government and all this stuff doesn't matter anymore. So we can revive these people because at the end of the day. Society
we have a true reset. Yeah.
Society makes these people what they are, right? Some people were born into what they have. Some people didn't get the shit via hard work, whatever. They're birthed into it. So with society the way it is, everyone has a clean slate now. There's no dictators. There's no government. There's no president.
Now,
there's
all I would hope though, and I would hope maybe Tsukasa can be in charge of this. What you got to do, because the problem is. There are many different types of personality in people and yada yada, but there's a certain type of people that end up just rising to the rank of leader, and unfortunately it tends to be people that thrive for power. People that have no problem stepping over others to get what they want. It's just a natural, people that don't want power are the ones that wouldn't be corrupt, but because they don't want power, they don't get power, you see? And then even if those people that aren't corrupt do want power, they aren't willing to step on over others to get that power, so they have a less chance of getting the power. So there is just this natural pull of corrupt douchebag people in power, they will inevitably get there. So I guess if you're gonna go on that, logic and say, okay, we're reviving everybody because all that shit is wiped clean, you have to set up Senku Corporation, fuck that shit, the Senku world government. Hear me out. the Senku world government, led up by Tsukasa. Although Tsukasa's a bit like extreme to the point where he doesn't even want technology, but like I'd like a compromise between Senku and Tsukasa where like, okay, let's revive all like good shit, but then I would love it if Senku was like, you know, just we need to set up rules that like stop the mistakes of the past from happening again. And like, so like, you know, keep an eye on your Donald Trumps that are now just like a member of the working class like everybody else, and make sure he doesn't fucking do some conniving shit to get back into power, you know?
Yeah, just like police their behavior more so we don't repeat the mistakes.
But then, of course, that's also concerning because you don't want to slip into a totalitarian government controlled by Tsukasa. Like, there's a fine lines here, obviously, but...
Because I'm definitely... Because once the series gets into Endgame, I can definitely see one more, like, big, like, Marineford war happening if they do revive a bunch of people. Because it's inevitable. We're humans. Like, I really see this manga ending in such a way to where it's just like, or it's going to be like a final like civil war between like someone in the Kingdom of Science to decide what route the world will go.
Yeah, I mean, because this is their chance. I think that's the way Tsukasa looked at it. This is their chance to change the path of humanity, right? And there's like a lot of things. And it's sad because like you can even look at like certain ideals that like let's take the founding fathers of America for example, which obviously had plenty of problems in their own right, but like they had certain ideals for America, and you could argue that they kind of, you know, founded the country, and they were able to, you know, say, okay, as the founders of this country, we want the backbone of this country to be these principles. But fast forward to now, and most of them are just destroyed, right? So it shows that like even if you have like, okay, we are, you know, Senku and Tsukasa completely restart humanity, and they have these like principles like we're gonna build humanity based on no corruption and like, you know, no land ownership and like everything, you know, like a more like kind of Native American-esque way of living where we live off the land and we don't, you know, yada yada yada, right? But like it almost seems like inevitably humanity reverts back to shit. So like I just wonder if this manga will have like a satisfying way to kind of almost show that like we're gonna improve from this as a society. And it will all really depend on what Senku and Tsukasa do, like what they set up as, you know, because they're in a privileged position here where they're able to kind of dictate the direction of humanity as they're reviving it. So I'll be curious because like I see Tsukasa's got a lot of stress right now because like it really almost does. It feels like trying to like stop a bunch of leaks in a boat. Like it's like, you know, there are leaks everywhere and you're like taking a bucket and like throwing the water out. Like it's almost inevitable that humanity will eventually become the shit that you despise again, right? So it's like, what can you do to like try your best to not, which is why my political ideology has always been like, I view politics as like a big tug of war game, and you have like, imagine like these titans from Attack on Titan on like the corrupt side, you know, working for the powerful, working for the corporations. They have so much power and they're pulling all the rules in their direction, and the only way we fight back against that is with a lot of people, like a lot of the small guys fighting back. Watch A Bug's Life, it's an allegory for that, or a metaphor, or a, I don't know what the word is, something. Point being, I'm very interested to see what they're going to do, because I think that Tsukasa has a genuine fear. He took it too far, as most villains do. They have a good idea, and they take it too far. But, like, as they get to this whole, let's revive all 8.8 billion people, I wonder if they'll run across some people that are like, I don't know, Senku, I recognize that guy. He was, like, a serial rapist I saw him on the news. You want to revive that guy? Like, that's a genuine question.
So, it's interesting to think about. We'll just have to wait and see what Senku plans to do, because eventually history does repeat itself to some degree, and there's always going to be corrupt people longing for power, and the whole gist of it is how long. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a period of time where everything's working well, but once someone gets a little bit of power, they're going to get corrupt. So I think it's just right now they're just hoping that the corruptness happens later rather than sooner, because it will happen. It's human nature.
Yeah.
But so I mean, it's interesting right now. So I'm curious. I'm definitely curious to see the route this manga will take it, because right now they're on American soil. Not I hate the notion that America is the most racist place in the world. I mean, it's not. There are other places that are just as racist as America is, but it's a stereotype that Americans are racist.
I'll tell you what the problem is that America, like, our culture over here is so much less about community than other countries. So, like, you can probably ask, like, I'm going to ask some of our foreign fans, like Steel Ram from Italy, Luke from the UK. Like, I know that other countries, they prioritize, like, community and, like, the concept of us rather than just you, right? So, like, not me, us. Like, there's more of a sense of, like, community working together for our common goals, whereas in America, you're very much taught about individuality, and, like, it's all about you and your goals and your dreams, and, like, they almost teach it like it's okay to, like, our economic system, it's kind of a dog eat dog world. They treat it like a competition. It's like a winner takes all, you know what I mean? So there's this attitude in America of, like, very much like all about me, and it's a fight to get all the resources, whereas other countries, it's a lot more about family and community,
Yeah, America is a definition of a Viking. This country is a definition of Viking. Like, the weak, like, if America was a character, it'd most likely be like Thanos, Darkseid, and Apocalypse. Like characters are just like, the strong live and the weak die.
Oh,
like
yeah,
that type of villain, like that type of villain character is just like, not even a villain character, it's like the type of character who has that very, like, a very animalistic, like, battle, like mindset, like Vegeta, like characters like that, like not necessarily evil, but it's just like you have to be strong by yourself. You have to, whatever happens to you is your fault type of thing. Like,
oh yeah, that it's a pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Yeah,
they're literally, like, even before this COVID shit, like, we have politicians in this country that, like, unironically are like, yeah, if you don't work, you deserve to starve to death. Like, because they don't want any, like, programs at all. Like if you don't work, like, imagine thinking, like, if you don't want to get a job, you deserve to be homeless. Like, that's wild to me. And that's like a common position in America.
Yeah, and like, the strong live and the weak die. That's the overall, like, trope that America as a whole is. And there's some good alternatives to that. There's some people just like, no, fuck that type of mentality and lifestyle. But I mean, it's just what the country, I would say, was built on, if I'm being honest.
Well, that's why it was like the American dream, because it was kind of a place where, like, if you had a good idea, you could come here and, like, make a business from scratch and yada yada, because it was, like, less about community and more about a place where you could come here and, like, just take advantage of everybody else to make your dream. But yeah, I feel like that's probably a big contributor to why America is perceived as more racist. Because we're just more xenophobic in general against other people that aren't us. Oh shit, he's gone. Well, until he's back, I'm going to talk about this fucking alligator unbirthing a corn from his esophagus. Probably not esophagus. Probably like...
All right, so anything else? Because I have to be ready.
Yeah, real quick. Let's talk about them, like, unbirthing this cob of corn from this alligator's stomach.
Yeah, I was like, I look at that, I was like, holy shit. They really chopped these motherfuckers up.
Yeah, that was kind of gross. Like, why are they censoring it?
Yeah, I mean, shit, yeah, they probably do. I don't know, bro.
This is funny because, like, the bit they're censoring is the corn, not the organ.
that confused me at first. I was like, well, why did they censor the corn?
Maybe like because it's like they're trying to trick us into thinking it's like some sort, like, and Senku's freaking out. Like is it is it supposed to be like, oh, it's a dick? Is that the joke? And no, just kidding. I don't understand.
Yeah, like because I was like, maybe because they have blood on it or something like that. You see,
maybe it's weird.
Yeah. So we found it now.
Well, we know that there's some around because this fucking gator just sucked down some corn.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
The gators are probably hungry. They'll have nothing to fucking,
Yeah.
That's not true though, because I mean, with the ecosystem, it's probably.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have nothing. Like, animals are still a thing. It's just humans.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, because one of the big thing is just like, how animals need each other. Like, because if if there's not enough predators, then the herbivores will die because they'll eat all their food.
Yeah.
So something like that. So I know you probably were taught that in middle school and elementary school,
Well,
but
it's like a delicate balance, you know.
yeah. So, but I think because there's no one interrupting that, I think that's probably prospered even more now.
Oh yeah, animals are probably way better. In fact, if you look at during the COVID stuff, have you seen all the fucking articles about how much better nature's doing now that humans are like staying home and shit?
Yeah, ooh, almost like people have been saying that for a long time.
Yeah, that's depressing. Yeah, but don't take it as a negative. It's not like our existence in general is a bad thing. It's just how we live. Like, look at again. I always point to the Native Americans. They had that shit figured out, man. They lived one with the land. Yeah, I guess in general, I'm glad we're in America here. I'm hoping to see more American stereotypes because, again, Senku with the burger is just the best thing ever. Because I already love this boy. And, like, there's something, because you know how, like, I think if I had to vote for, like, anime character I most want to spend a day with, it'd be Senku. Can you feel me on that? Because, like, and what I love about this art is it brings that a little bit closer to reality, because I feel like he's come over to America to visit us, and I brought him to, like, a burger place. And I'm like, yo, like, it's so weird to see Senku with a big, like, American burger.
Although my character would be Gintoki, but, you know.
Who?
Gintoki.
Ugh, cringe.
Oh, look at him. Whatever. I'll give this chapter a 9 out of 10.
No, I need to watch Gintama first, but like over Senku, come on.
Yes, 100%. That'd be like me saying like over Killua, you know you would love to meet Killua.
Yeah. Although, see, the problem with Killua, like I've thought, because like you have to think about how would the character look at you. Killua would not bat a second eyelash. I would be so boring to him. I'm just a dude. Like, you'd be like, who the fuck are you?
Ask him to train you.
Yeah.
Teach me men.
Random fucking like chubby kid. Like, yeah, okay. I would feel like, you know, when you're trying to like date a girl out of your league, that's why I'd feel like super out of my league even talking to Killua. I'd be like, bro, you're too awesome. Like, you got
like,
shit figured out.
Teach me Nen, Killua. The good thing about that Nen is everyone can have it, so it's just like a.
That's true. Well, yeah, that's true. You can like open up your pores and shit. And I could do it the slow, normal way, you know, because there's like the two ways. There's the one where that Wing did, where he's like, I'm gonna forcibly open your shit and you might die from it. But the real way is like over a year to like meditate. So yeah, I'd do that. I'd be like, all right, bro, get back. I'm gonna meditate for a year and then I'll summon you back from your manga.
Bro, like waiting for you doesn't even sound that bad. I'm real.
Oh yeah, I'd do it. I mean, but you probably have to have hella discipline though. Like you'd have to like do it really consistently and shit.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure there's like classes and shit for it in Hunter x Hunter World. So you know.
Well, no, I mean actually in Hunter x Hunter World, Nen is incredibly like people don't know. It's like a well kept secret. Like not a lot of people know about it. The Hunter Association purposely keeps it as secret as possible because they don't want like rando fucking dictators to learn it.
Yeah,
like that's why. Remember how even in the Hunter exam? Yes, we're fucking talking about Hunter x Hunter now. Shut up. Remember in the Hunter exam, like they literally didn't even tell them about Nen. They made it like a secret second part because they wanted as little people as possible to know about it.
Yeah, because you know what happens when evil people get Nen.
Check out that current arc.
This current arc proving that dictators not have Nen.
Oh, so good.
I can imagine you with Nen. You just have the most complex power ever.
You know, I play this role of the smart guy. I'm not as smart as I look. I'm pretty average. I'm a big thinker. I think a lot. Doesn't necessarily make me smart.
See, my Nen power would be so simple.
You're absolutely an enhancer. Wait, let me just. I gotta remember. Hold on. I'm gonna find. I just want to double check. This is what we're doing now. You can leave anytime you want, Dr. Stone fans. We're talking about Hunter x Hunter.
Have to leave very soon. So.
Yo, hold up. Wait. Nen personality. There's that thing Hisoka did. Hold on a second. God damn it. Oh yeah, you're staying. Personality Hisoka. Okay, good. Okay, here it is. So, enhancers are simple and determined. Manipulators are logical and do things at their own pace. Transmuters are whimsical and liars. Emitters are impatient and not detail-oriented. Specialists are independent and charismatic. Conjurers are high-strung. What fits you best?
Read emitter again.
Emitter is impatient and not detail-oriented.
That sounds like me.
More than simple and determined.
Oh, both of them sound like me. Holy
I
shit.
gotta remember where they are on the chart. Is emitter close to oh, bro, that's perfect. Emitter and enhancer are right next to each other, so you could be like a little bit of both.
Bro, so
You could be like an enhancer, and then you could like secondary and emit it in emission.
Oh yeah, because you can have a primary and a secondary.
Well, yeah,
right?
Remember, because like that's the NEN system. Yeah, this is what's happening right now. We're talking about this. The NEN system is like literally the best fucking power system in anything I've ever watched. It's so complex. Yeah, so like if you do that fucking like water glass test, and it's like, oh, you're an enhancer, you can learn any other like skill. I can't think of the word. You can learn any other like skill from any other category, but like the farther away it is on the chart, the harder it'll be. So like for example, if you're an enhancer and you try to learn like a conjurer ability, since it's far away on the chart, it's gonna be piss poor weak, like shitty, right? But if you're an enhancer and you try to learn like an emitter thing that's right next to it on the chart, it won't be as powerful as if you were an emitter, but you can do it at like 80% power. Whereas then if you do an enhancer, you can do 100% power. You see?
Yeah. So
yeah, that sounds perfect for you. You could be fucking an enhancer with like some emission properties. So essentially, you'd have like you'd just be making you'd be upping your stats while also being able to like shoot your NEN out at things like long range. I'm into it. Honestly, I gotta look at the personality again. Logical, does things at my own. Actually, I might be a manipulator. Because, like, I like to think I'm logical, and, like, does things at my own pace is huge for me. Because, like, you know how I just take my time with everything, and, like, my whole life, I've been, like, the slow one. Like,
yeah.
And that would work. And also, let's be honest, I'm actually a bit of a manipulator. Like, it's a toxic element of myself.
Manipulation. Well, as you know, so I guess in this video I'm saying I'm heading to, a different state. So the videos this week, ladies and gentlemen, again, might be a little late because I will be, in Snowland.
It's not Snowland. It's fucking spring. There's no snow.
I call
You think we have snow all the time?
I call it Snowland.
Also, he's not coming to my state. He's coming to like the state below my state to visit his brother or something.
I'm coming to his next door neighbor.
What state is it? So that if there's any fans in that state, they can creep on you?
Indiana.
All right. If you live in Indiana, genuinely hit us up because he'd probably chill with you. You'd be like, who are you going with? Your sister? Your mom? Who is it?
Sister and brother.
Yo, you gotta be like, sis, one of my YouTube fans wants to meet me.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
That'd be a flex though, right? If someone was like fanboying over you in front of your family.
That'd be the mightiest flex I've ever had.
You doubted me. Oh, it's so good. Yes, genuinely. If you live in Indiana and you want to meet Thurman, hit us up.
And with that.
Oh, peace.
All right, bro. I gotta head out. You have a good day, man.
Yeah, you too, brother.